Good evening and welcome to Crisler Arena for another WCBN Sports broadcast of Michigan men's basketball as the red-hot Iowa Hawkeyes come to town looking to spoil Michigan senior night. Iowa is currently riding a 4-game win streak and hasn't lost since the Wolverines came to Iowa City on February 17th and won 84-79. Michigan's on a bit of a hot stretch of their own, with their most recent game being a decisive home win against Michigan State. I'm joined by the one, the only Daniel Olson. And Daniel, while both these teams have quality resumes for the NCAA tournament, this almost seems like a must-win game.
Well, certainly for Michigan it is. Currently projected on the bubble by most bracketologists here. ESPN, CBS, all of those good bracketology sites have Michigan as one of the last 4 teams in. That win on Tuesday against Michigan State was critical, but this would be another nice resume piece as Michigan tries to make their way to the NCAA tournament. Iowa, on the other hand, is projected in the tournament by most as a 7 or 8 seed, so they should be in the tournament. So a lot more here to gain for Michigan, but if you're Iowa, you got to come out and play because this is another big win to add to the resume and potentially boost your seeding up into that 6 or 7 range.
Iowa starting lineup, the guard Jordan Bohannon in his 6th year at Iowa. He's their second leading scorer at 11 points per game. Joining him in the backcourt, Tony Perkins, the 6'4 sophomore, shooting 88% from the line. That could be a very helpful late game. The swing man, the man to watch out for Iowa, one of the best players in the country, number 15, Keegan Murray. He's a 6'8 sophomore, and he's 4th in the country in scoring at 23.3 points per game. Also the Hawkeye leading rebounder at 8.6 rebounds per game. Number 22 to lead the front court, Patrick McCaffrey had some injury problems, but he'll make the start here tonight. He's the 6'9 sophomore. He's the 3rd leading scorer on the team. Round out the front court, the Serbian Filip Ravraka, the 6'9 senior, spent his first 3 years at North Dakota, averaged 17 points per game last season there. Iowa coached by Fran McCaffrey. It's the father of Patrick McCaffrey, along with Connor McCaffrey, who's going to come off the bench for the Hawkeyes. Daniel, these teams played earlier in the season, and Michigan looked very good. Will we see any similarities between those two games?
I would imagine so. Michigan likes to pound the paint, and against this Iowa team whose starting lineup, tallest guy is 6'9". Hunter Dickinson, the 7-footer, Moussa Diabate, nearly 7 feet tall. They're going to have their way in the paint, and if Iowa shuts down the paint, which is very possible, and they did not do very well in their first meeting, they're going to have to do a better job of that in this game if they want a chance to win, because you know Michigan's going to be feeding Dickinson and Diabate all night. And if they get going, people start making shots on the perimeter, they're a tough team to beat. So that's going to be critical here tonight.
Starting lineup for Michigan, the same as usual. The grad transfer Devontae Jones at point guard, joined in the backcourt by the senior, the professor, number 55, Eli Brooks. Swingman Caleb Houston at the 3. Freshman, he's been very good recently. Starting off the front court, Moussa Diabate, the freshman, back from his suspension. He's been playing well since then. And the star of the show, the man down low, Hunter Dickinson, who essentially carried Michigan to a thunderous win against Michigan State. He played great. Starting lineup's just announced. We got a pretty good crowd on tap, maybe a little bit less than one would expect, Daniel. But nonetheless, Maze Rage looking, manageable.
Yeah, that's solid. I don't see the cows, which is a little
No cows
disappointing.
tonight. No cows tonight. Always a fan favorite.
A usual staple of the Michigan student section. Obviously, some Maze Rage out there as well.
Yeah,
it's a little disappointing given the victory on Tuesday against rival Michigan State.
It is break, which could help them out. But you're right. I mean, a lot more people here on Tuesday, which was also obviously earlier in the break.
It is also 9 o'clock on a Thursday.
Good point.
A lot of local kids
as well.
still have school tomorrow. Yep. But a lot of the crowds have been kind of like this all season. Michigan just haven't been consistent enough to warrant the crowds that maybe were expected at the beginning of the year. Sold out Chryslers. But it's still a very passionate crowd. Obviously, this is still a very big game for Michigan, and they should come out with the same fire. They've had smaller crowds in here this season, and they've played well enough. So this is nothing they're not used to, I'd say.
Another staple tonight, kind of a nice touch, the Alumni Bands.
Yeah.
Usually it's the students. I believe this is the first game with the Alumni Band. So they played varsity, they played the Victors, obviously, and they sounded great.
Well, yeah, I wonder if it's got to be like riding a bike, Once you do it a couple times, you just never forget. filling in for the students over break. It's pretty cool. But expecting a great atmosphere in here tonight, despite the limited crowd, I'd say.
Should be great. We had an excellent pregame ceremony honoring the seniors. Obviously, Eli Brooks and Devontae Jones both in the starting lineup. You'll likely see Brandon Johns as well off the bench. Nice, crowd showed their appreciation. Big applause for everybody. It was a great ceremony that the staff put on here for the seniors as the players take the court now. It's going to be Dickinson and Rebraka jumping tip. As Daniel mentioned earlier, Rebraka a little smaller for a center. He's 6'9". He's more than shown that he's capable of hanging with the big boys, though. Again, averaged 17 a game at North Dakota last season. Excuse me, it's going to be Keegan Murray jumping tip, actually, which could make sense given his athleticism. He's 6'8". All but ready here in Crisler Arena. Michigan versus Iowa. Last game at Crisler for Michigan before they go on the road and end their season at Ohio State. Big Ten tournament following after. Both these teams have high aspirations as we get set to go here in Crisler. Dickinson, Murray, jumping tip. Ball is up. Dickinson wins it. Ball to the professor. Back over to Devontae Jones, and he'll run the show for the Wolverines, guarded by Bohannon. Some senior-on-senior action. High ball screen moves to Diabate. Jones gets it inside Diabate. Left block, going to work on Keegan Murray. Diabate, a couple dribbles. Good help there by Bohannon. Diabate spins, airballed it. Rebound. Goes to Rebraka.
Solid double team there by Iowa. Caught Diabate off guard. Michigan needs to communicate that better and swing that out.
Perkins to a cutting McCaffrey. Left-handed layup is no good. Looked like it was blocked by Dickinson. Ball out of bounds. Going to stay with the Hawkeyes. Keegan Murray, interestingly enough, matched up by Musa Diabate. That's something to look out for. Musa's a great defender, but he's got his hands full tonight with Murray. Fourth leading scorer in the country. McCaffrey sideline out. Gets it to Rebraka, hand to Bohannon. Left wing guarded by Eli Brooks. Gets a high screen from Rebraka. Bohannon working inside on Dickinson. Now brings it back outside. Right wing back. Bohannon deep center three is good. Jordan Bohannon gets it started here in Crisler with a deep three, 3-0 Iowa.
And that's what Iowa's going to want to take advantage of is when they get Hunter Dickinson switched out on one of their guards. Bohannon, typically coaches want you to take that to the rack, make the big man work a little bit, but just stepped up, knocked it down in his face.
Diabate up top looking for Brooks. Cut, didn't find him. Diabate goes inside, layup no good. Wild shot, rebound McCaffrey.
A little out of control for Diabate at the start. Excellent defense by Iowa.
Perkins works inside, guarded by Houston. Now left wing McCaffrey. Working on Diabate, cut him off. Back outside Bohannon, who had the early three. Now Rebraka. Dickinson giving him a lot of space outside. Perkins back up top against Brooks. High ball scheme from Rebraka. Perkins floater is no good. Too strong rebound Dickinson. Here come the Wolverines. Jones, cross court, Houston. Takes it back outside. Finds Dickinson. Houston gets it back. Now drives inside. Throws up a layup. No good. Rebound. Diabate got it blocked. Gets it back outside to Houston. A lot of wild shots here from Michigan early. Devontae Jones now working on McCaffrey. Gets it right wing. Houston inside Dickinson. Dickinson guarded by Rebraka calling the shots. One-on-one now here. Dickinson, couple big dribbles. Spin to the right side. Right hook is no good off the rim. So Michigan's struggles continue early offensively. Perkins down the court. Bohannon, right wing Keegan, who's been quiet so far, but he hasn't really needed to do much. Keegan now posting up Diabate, rises with the right. He just bullied Musa Diabate. 2 points there for Trevor Keegan.
Yeah, he's given up some size on the inside, but he certainly has the body to be able to bang with Diabate down low. It's like finally going to Dickinson again.
Dickinson had it blocked. Excellent defensive play there by Murray, showing that he's much more of an offensive player.
Yeah, Michigan looks really out of sorts on offense. They seem to be lacking that energy that they had against Michigan State. Dickinson didn't get his first touch in the post until 2 minutes into the game, which is a bit concerning because when Michigan starts slow, they tend to, struggle to pick up the pace. So hopefully they can grab a couple buckets here soon.
Murray going to work on Dickinson, threw up a wild shot, missed it. 5-0 Iowa here early. Houston down the lane, right-hand layup is good, and Michigan finally on the board. Almost 3 minutes into this game, it's 5-2 Iowa.
We've seen a lot more of that from Caleb Houston recently, putting the ball on the deck, taking it to the rack. It should open up his three-point shot. An aggressive Caleb Houston is what Michigan fans want to see tonight.
Bohannon brings it back outside. Hands now. Perkins. Left wing, guarded by Jones. Gets it back outside. Keegan Murray, guarded by Diabate. Murray settles for a wing three and hits it. Keegan Murray from downtown makes it an 8-2 Iowa lead. 16.5 here to go in the first half.
And those are the limitations of Hunter Dickinson on defense. On the perimeter, 2 Iowa guys, Bohannon and Murray, just pulling up over his outstretched arm. Something to keep an eye on if you're Michigan.
Good shooting early here from Iowa. Jones now working inside, throws up the patented floater, and it goes in. Devontae Jones makes it a 4-point game now.
Much better possession there for Michigan, a lot more fluid with their screens and their movement.
Perkins works center. Now gets it to a cutting Bohannon who's inside. Brings it back outside against Dickinson. There's that matchup again. Bohannon tries to step back. Dickinson good defense so far. Bohannon cut off baseline by Brooks. Gets it back outside Rebraka. Back outside Perkins, now on Jones. Perkins gets it up top. Murray. Jab fake. Another three is good there. Keegan Murray. He's got 2 threes so far. Jab step moves to Diabate and shot it right over him. 11-4 Iowa. Dickinson left wing now working against Rebraka. Hands it Houston. 3-pointer for Caleb Houston is no good off the rim. Rebound fought for, out of bounds. Goes to Iowa. Now another ref overrules the call. Says it's Michigan's ball.
Yeah, from our angle, which was actually pretty good on that one. That seemed to be off Iowa there. Crowd obviously thought so, but
yep.
It seems like I think they got that call right there.
Ball goes to Michigan. 11-4 here early. Michigan struggled offensively and defensively, Daniel.
Yeah, well, Keegan, Iowa's made their threes, right? That's a big difference in the game. Michigan sometimes struggles to make shots from the perimeter, and they can kind of get, teams can kind of separate from Michigan early in the game with their three-point shooting and Michigan's, lack thereof. I think, they just haven't gotten into the flow yet. Iowa's did a good job defensively being disruptive. But then offensively, Keegan Murray is just being Keegan Murray, the 4th best scorer in the country. A couple jab step, square up, eye-to-eye three-pointers that are just nothing but the bottom of the net. So Michigan's probably going to have to provide a little bit more pressure. But that's going to make it more difficult to guard him with that jump shot going. So definitely a challenge ahead for Diabate and the rest of the Michigan defense. Wouldn't be shocked if they turned to Johns or Terrence Williams to try and match up with Keegan Murray. A little bit better body size, a little more quickness on the perimeter to be able to match up and keep him in front while also contesting the three-point line.
Murray 3 of 3 right now, 2 of which have been three-pointers. But as you said, Daniel, Michigan's got a lot of kind of that hybrid wing depth, so they can experiment a bit on who they want to put on Murray. Right now they have Diabate. Murray's kind of capitalized with Diabate's bigness. With a couple deep threes, a couple jab sets, like you said, get him off his spot. We'll see what Michigan does.
Right. Well, it's tough if you're Phil Martelli and you're Musa Diabate because you had your career night in Iowa City.
Right.
Career high in points. Really, really excellent game. So you want to, follow it up with another good game. You got a lot of confidence against this team. But so far, a little bit of a sloppy start. A little bit of a bit in a rush, I think, from Diabate. That effort is still there on the offensive glass because that's where he really killed Iowa in Iowa City, was on the offensive boards. But Iowa's done a good enough job up to this point. But still, of course, we're 4 minutes into this game. Plenty of time to make adjustments and get right back into it. But I think it starts with more pressure on Keegan Murray on the perimeter.
Diabate 0 of 3 so far. He does have an offensive rebound. His shots have been quite wild. Michigan will look to settle things down out of the timeout. It's 11-4 Iowa leads. 15.5 here to go in the first half. Senior night here at Crisler Arena. Seniors haven't really done much so far. Jones is 1 of 1 with a nice floater. Brooks hasn't taken a shot.
Yeah, Tip, the professor.
The professor, Eli Brooks.
Usually a pretty patient guy.
Oh,
I feel like he likes to get into the flow of the game. There's a cow.
Got a cows?
We have one cow in the crowd on the Jumbotron. Not in the student section, I don't believe.
Was it on? Okay, I didn't see it. I don't see them in the student section,
yeah,
nor. I didn't peep it on the Jumbotron either.
Yeah.
Got a couple fat heads as well in the Maze Rage. Michigan baseline, Devontae Jones will take it out. Looked for Houston in the corner, got tipped out of bounds by McCaffrey, remains Michigan ball.
One thing I will say is I do like the aggressiveness so far, the freshmen Houston and Diabate. Shots haven't quite dropped yet, but taking it to the rack, going up strong. Just need to slow down a little bit and be a little bit more patient with their shot selection.
Dickinson in the post, working on Rebraca. Got double teamed, kicked it wide out, wide open Houston for 3. Off the rim, no good. Rebound McCaffrey.
Excellent pass out of the double team by Hunter Dickinson.
McCaffrey tried to slice it inside, got it tipped. Ball goes back to Iowa, though. Bohannon outside against Jones. Right wing. Now hands Perkins. McCaffrey now up top, gets a screen from Rebraca, trying to get the professor off of him. McCaffrey goes up with the right, banked it in from the left side. 13-4 Iowa leads.
Well, Iowa's giving up a little bit of height inside. Michigan is giving it up on the perimeter with Jones and Brooks. Iowa's shortest player is Bohannon at 6'1". Other guard is at 6'4". Nice take there by the professor.
Brooks got the quick step. Got the layup to go. 13-6 Iowa leads. Bohannon now finds Perkins right wing. McCaffrey now right wing, guarded by Houston. Brings it back outside. Trying to go baseline. Houston cut him off. Back outside deep Bohannon. Perkins now left wing, working on Jones. Gets the screen from Murray. Perkins rising mid-range is no good. Bounced around a little bit. Rebound fought for Hunter Dickinson comes up with it. Here come the Wolverines running. Devontae Jones right side. Works inside. Swung it way outside. The professor from downtown. No good. A little long there. 13-6 the score remains. Murray all the way up to Rebraca with the left is good. Excellent pass there from Keegan Murray. Finds the Serbian Rebraca. Wide open layup there. Pitch perfect pass there from Murray.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing, I think, if you're head coach Phil Martelli. Not getting back on defense after a 3. Not even that long of a rebound either for Iowa. Just got beat up the court. And Michigan looks a little lethargic here to start.
Dickinson left wide open from 3 and no good again. Michigan's shooting struggles continue. Diabate fought for the rebound and is going to stay with Michigan. Musa Diabate, despite the slow shooting start, his hustle remains in place, and Michigan will get another possession because of it.
Yeah, excellent hustle, as you mentioned, by Musa Diabate. Tipping that ball around, getting it to go off the Iowa player. Getting Michigan another possession as Johns checks in for Dickinson.
Brooks will take it out sideline, gets it to Jones, right wing. High screen from Diabate now. Jones settles for 3. No good, short again. Another rebound by Musa, though. Settles things down, back outside Eli Brooks, back inside Musa Diabate. Diabate gives Murray a jab step. Left the mid-range short. Rebound, Rebraca.
It's a lot of jump shots early on from a Michigan team that struggles to shoot the ball at times, can be very streaky and inconsistent. I'm sure they'd love to see one go down here really soon.
The utility man, Joe Toussaint, has checked in for Iowa. He's left wing, works on Jones. Toussaint, nice move. Easy dump off to Rebraca. Joe Toussaint immediately makes an impact off the bench, and it's 17-6 Iowa.
Beautiful. Fake a pass to make a pass, baby.
There you go. Right off the bench, too. Brooks, Toussaint guarding him closely. Brooks at the logo, finds John's left wing, newly checked in. Diabate now up top, guarded by Rebraca. Diabate looking for somewhere to go with it. Finds Brooks left wing. High screen from Johns. Brooks now pulls it back out. Now goes back inside. Step back mid-range. Didn't take the shot. Jones right wing. Got Bohannon on a pump fake. Jones goes up with the floater and hits it.
Beautiful.
Much needed bucket there from Devontae Jones.
Yeah, Michigan needs points. And that was a great move by Devontae Jones. A little pump fake on the 3. He took one early in the game. Missed it, but respectable enough from the three-point line to make the defender bite for the fake and get to that floater.
Murray left wide open from the wing, and he hits another 3. Keegan Murray. It doesn't seem like he's hit the rim yet. 20-8 Iowa leads. This is third 3 and a half. We're not even halfway into the half. Terrence Williams, T-Will at the scorer's table, ready to check in. Brooks left wing. Quick swing, Caleb Houston in the corner. Gets inside, throws up a sky hook. Got fouled. One off the rim. Caleb Houston's going to get 2 free throws as we go to a media timeout.
An excellent pump fake there by Houston. Kind of a wild shot, a little bailed out on the foul, but nonetheless, I like the aggression that he and Diabate have shown overall. But I think in general, Michigan's got to go to Dickinson in the post. I mean, I know sometimes that can make the offense a little stagnant, but Dickinson seems a little lethargic, a little tired maybe after that 33-point performance, putting the team on his back on Tuesday.
Got checked out early for Brandon Johns.
Yeah, he doesn't quite have the same fire, the same sort of drive. So, through these first 8 minutes, not having the same effect on the game that certainly Michigan fans and the Michigan team kind of needs. But on the other side, an excellent start for Iowa. Keegan Murray is lighting it up from downtown. 3 of 3, all have been really solid looks. And Michigan's going to have to do a much better job of making him feel uncomfortable here as this game progresses.
So defensively, stop Keegan Murray, and offensively get Hunter more involved.
Exactly. Got to put Hunter on the post because he's proven this year. He's added quite a few things to his game this year. He's added a little right-hand hook that can make people respect it. So then he can turn back over that right shoulder and use that left-hand hook that he loves. He's added a jump shot that we've seen in recent days, recent weeks, recent months. And he's become a much better passer out of the post. And Michigan at times has really run their offense through Dickinson, just feeding the post, let the double come, good spacing, good cuts off of that double team, and then let him make a proper decision and then get the ball popping on the perimeter and make some shots. And right now, Michigan isn't quite making that third, fourth, fifth pass, and the cuts aren't as sharp, they aren't as hard. So Dickinson's having to make – he's not having the same opportunities to make the cross-court pass to an open corner three or the little backdoor cut. So Michigan's got to play with a little more urgency on offense. They've done this year where they play a really good game, and then they kind of follow it up with something that's not, their best performance, their best product. And this is not the time to be inconsistent. March is the time to be hitting your stride, to be playing really good basketball, and they showed on Tuesday what they're capable of, and so far tonight it has been not quite up to their standards, I'd imagine.
20-8 Iowa lead, still early though. And as you mentioned, Daniel, a lot of Michigan's struggles seem to be because of the dysfunctional offense. They've had games where they've just been missing shots. They've been playing well, passing the ball beautifully, but the shots just haven't been falling. This isn't the case today, but luckily for Michigan, that is something you can fix. You can fix your dysfunction. Part of the reason Martelli probably just called a timeout. Michigan will look to do that throughout the course of this game. Yeah. Players back on the floor.
The defense hasn't been quite as sharp either, though, in a sense. They haven't been as intense.
Murray's been left wide open.
Murray's been getting whatever he wants on the offensive end. Michigan's going to have to, really dig deep and find a little bit of extra energy. I mean, this is a tough part of the schedule. It's kind of the end of the season. You're tired. You just played a big game on Tuesday night. Every game now is a big game. It's a must-win game, and that takes a lot of pressure, puts a lot of, you build up fatigue over time.
Houston at the line shooting 2 for the Wolverines. First one is good. Caleb Houston, a bit of a resurgence in the second half of the year shooting-wise. Second free throw coming. Rolls off the rim, no good, so Houston splits the pair. Iowa now working. Back over Keegan Murray, now guarded by Terrence Williams. Murray quick moves inside. Williams goes up. Looked like it was good defense, but they're going to call a foul.
Yeah, I think they should have called the foul on the reach, although they might get Terrence Williams there, but it seemed like somebody got Keegan Murray on the arm when he was driving.
Murray got Williams on the step coming off a handoff. Williams recovered nicely, though.
Yeah, he defended him a lot better than Diabate and Dickinson have so far tonight.
Murray first free throw is good. 21-9 Iowa leads. Buffkin in for Michigan replaces Devontae Jones. Second free throw is also good. Buffkin will man the point guard duties, it looks like. And Brooks is back there. High pass in the backcourt. Iowa employing a press. Brooks bounces it. Buffkin looking for somewhere to go with it. Finds a wide open Williams in the front court. Williams now attacks. Throws it up. Is good. Terrence Williams. Nice layup there over Murray. Kind of gave him a taste of his own medicine. Toussaint quickly down the court. Wild shot. Good defense by Buffkin, who trips. Gets back up. Wolverines have numbers. Houston on the right wing goes up against Murray, trying to go a reverse layup, no good, and now the Hawkeyes are in transition. Toussaint and Buffkin, the only people there. Toussaint back outside Murray. Quick step on Johns. Toussaint back outside now. Reset the offense.
Yeah, Houston thought he was Dr. J on the baseline over here. That was some wild shots being thrown up so far in this game.
Chris Murray, Keegan Murray's brother, just hit a shot over Brandon Johns Jr. He's checked into the ball game. Nice banker there from Chris Murray. Aaron Eulis also into the game for the Hawkeyes. Fun fact, he's the younger brother of former NBA point guard Tyler Eulis. Johns now up top, guarded by Chris Murray. Houston now. Murray switches on to Houston. Bounce inside Johns, guarded by Connor McCaffrey. Johns fading mid-range is no good. Left it short. Rebound goes to Murray. Gives it quickly to Toussaint. Toussaint guarded by Eli Brooks. Now gets it. Murray right by Johns and slams it home. Michigan caught sleeping on defense as Chris Murray gets a wide-open dunk. It's a 15-point game now here early.
Eesh, not the start like many Michigan fans had imagined here tonight. Coming off that big win on Tuesday, it was critical to keep that momentum going, but 10 minutes into this game, and Michigan has looked like a shell of themselves, offensively and defensively. I'm not sure what that last possession was. I don't know how much trust the staff has in Brandon Johns and a Brandon Johns post-up with 7 seconds left on the shot clock, but I do believe Dickinson's coming back into this game because Martelli knows that need to see some shots go in here pretty soon. Need to get this crowd into it a little bit more. That was a very, very easy dunk by Murray down here at the other end right before the timeout. And Michigan's got a chance to get back in this thing because Iowa's playing this press. Michigan broke it pretty easily the first time despite a almost wayward pass from Buffkin, but
Iowa remains in the press. It's a 1-2-2. Michigan looks ready to break it. Williams still in the backcourt, trying to find someone. Goes Dickinson over top. Ball was too high, out of bounds. Iowa gets the ball. Looked like it was good until Williams threw the errant pass over Dickinson's head. And Dickinson standing at 7'2", kind of hard to miss him. Nevertheless, Hawkeye basketball. Toussaint runs the point guard duties. He's guarded by Buffkin. Looks like Michigan's in a 2-3 zone now. So a little zone action here. Outside Eulis. The work on Buffkin, gets it inside Murray. Back outside Toussaint. Rebraka still in the ballgame. Connor McCaffrey gets it inside Chris Murray. Looking to post up Eli Brooks. Nice defense from the professor. Murray left it short. Murray got the rebound back, though. Kicks it inside Rebraka. Left the floater short. Rebound Dickinson.
Yeah, excellent defense by Eli Brooks there. Had a little help from Caleb Houston reaching in from the top, but
Williams, strong drive inside. Banks in the layup. Terrence Williams getting down and dirty inside. He's got 4 early points. 26-13, Iowa leads.
2 strong physical takes by Terrence Williams to start this game. Should open up the 3-point shot for him here in a little bit.
Outside, it's going to be Toussaint, guarded by Dickinson. Toussaint step back 3, no good. That's probably not his shot. Rebound fought for. Is going to be a foul called. Looks like it's going to go on Buffkin.
Seemed like a pretty solid box out to me.
Buffkin and Chris Murray hit the floor after the shot. Foul is going to go on Buffkin. It's his first. Toussaint takes it out baseline. Toussaint finds Murray, gets it inside. Quick lefty layup is good. From the block, Chris Murray capitalizes. It's a 15-point game now.
Murray twins are killing Michigan on the offensive side.
Yep. Buffkin right wing guarded by Toussaint. Gets it inside Dickinson guarded by Rebraka. Nice dump off Buffkin. Reverse layup is good. Michigan rebound. Dickinson. Foul is called by a ref. I was going to say Michigan struggled a lot with those driving reverse layups. Looks like foul is going to go on McCaffrey. Buffkin takes it out baseline for the Wolverines. Finds Brooks way outside, guarded by Toussaint. Iowa in a 2-3 zone as well. Brooks, high ball screen from Dickinson. Pulls it back outside, finds Houston near corner. Guarded by Chris Murray. Looking for Dickinson, and he finds him. Houston cuts away. Dickinson and Rebraca one-on-one inside. Dickinson, lefty hook is good, and that's the shot that Hunter Dickinson gets so many points off of.
Yeah, the double team came, but he still just went with that left hook right over the top. Gets the friendly home rim bounce. Let's see if Michigan can add a couple stops and a couple buckets together here.
Murray finds Rebraca up top. Now Toussaint working on Brooks. Nice crossover from Toussaint. Gets it back outside. Rebraca mid-range is no good. Too strong. Rebound Bufkin. Here come the Wolverines. Bufkin manning the point. Finds Williams left wing, guarded by Chris Murray. Back outside Bufkin, guarded by Toussaint. Finds Williams again, looking for Dickinson, and he finds him. Double team comes. Dickinson navigates nicely, finds Brooks for a wing three, and it's good. Eli Brooks providing the spark that Michigan needs. Lead is cut to 10.
Excellent job by Dickinson. Saw the pass, saw the double team coming, made the proper pass, and
McCaffrey. Quick move there by Ulis, but the travel is called. All of a sudden, some life pouring into Crisler Arena here with 7:15 to go in the first half. It's a 28-18 game as we go to immediate timeout.
Well, that last possession, Iowa's played a little bit of a zone in a sense and they switched where the double team was coming from. Shaded Dickinson on his right shoulder on the right elbow to make the pass go to the middle, had the double team come there, and Michigan did exactly what they were supposed to do. Guy from the left corner cut towards the basket, took the other defender with him, opened up Eli Brooks, who was ready to shoot, and made the three. And Michigan's first three of the game, and hopefully that took the lid off the basket for him a little bit, and certainly Chrysler's appreciating it.
And those are two Michigan fundamental offensive pieces, right? I mean, you get the Dickinson post up, gets the hook shot. That's what he does best. And then Dickinson, again, they go to him in the post. He gets doubled and shows off his very underrated passing ability. Finds Brooks for a wing three. So if Michigan can kind of get back to those fundamentals that they like, they can find a lot of success offensively.
Right. I think many people are, at certain times during the year, questioned Michigan's offensive ability playing through Dickinson in the post. And they've come up with ways to make it more effective. You know, sending more cutters off of him, getting people to locate in the right spots on the three-point line, so that when the double team comes, Dickinson has an area that he knows where to throw it to, and a shooter's going to be there ready to catch and shoot. And you know, as the season's gone on, they've gotten better at finding those spots and finding the timing of it. And, you know, tonight it just started out a little bit slower. But those last two possessions were excellent, and they are exactly what Michigan is trying to do. And it helps that they, you know, mixed a couple stops in there as well, because it's hard to keep the offense going when, you know, you're just getting scored on right back. Momentum's a big part of the game of basketball, especially with the home crowd out here tonight. So look for Michigan to keep feeding Dickinson in the post, that's for sure.
Home crowd came alive after that Eli Brooks three.
And why not?
This is an important game.
Final home exam for the professors.
There you go, yeah. Man, Eli Brooks been here this is his 5th year.
Yep.
So since the 17-18 season, obviously the team that went to the championship.
Yeah. Started for a little bit as a freshman.
Yeah, he did, that's right. That's
when
right.
Xavier Simpson,
yep,
you know, came to his own.
Two all-time great Michigan guards.
Yeah. I mean, what a career for Eli Brooks.
Oh,
man.
yeah. I mean, who knows? Last year, if Isaiah Livers doesn't get injured, I mean, that team was so talented last year. They had all the pieces they needed. Obviously, Dickinson was there. Wagner and Livers now playing in the NBA. Sean D. Brown, Mike Smith, excellent transfers, and obviously the professor.
Yeah, they had a really great balance, a really great mix of veteran and young talent. And I think this year there wasn't quite as much of that veteran talent at the top, and it took a while for the young guys to learn. And you know, you're starting to see more bits and pieces, more stretches, longer stretches where Michigan looks like what they can look like. And hopefully they continue that here.
Players resumed here in Crisler. Brooks gets it left wing. 28-18 Michigan leads. Looking for Dickinson in the post. Can't find him. Goes back outside the Abate. Finds Brooks left wing again. They're trying to get it into Dickinson. Brooks throws up a running floater, and it goes. The Professor. 5 points in the last 2 possessions for the Wolverines. It's now an 8-point game. Michigan remains in the 2-3 zone. Bohannon newly checked back in. It's Murray outside. Bohannon, quick swing. McCaffrey finds his brother in the corner. Back outside, McCaffrey trying to go on Diabate. Diabate, good defense, but McCaffrey barely got it over the outreached arm and converts.
Yeah. Excellent take by McCaffrey, using those long arms to lay it up high off the glass over the outstretched Diabate.
Collins now into the ball game. He'll man the point guard duties for Michigan. Brooks, quick feed inside Dickinson, who got doubled. Foul is called. A lot of reaching going on there from the Murray twins.
Much better for Michigan. A lot sharper, a lot crisper, a lot quicker, too. They seem to have a much better idea of what they're trying to do out there. The energy has certainly picked up in these past couple minutes.
Third team foul for Iowa. Frankie Collins taking it out baseline. Bufkin tripped on the baseline, looking for someone else to go with it. Finds Diabate. Nice recovery there from Michigan. Brooks, high ball screen from Dickinson. Works on Bohannon. Murray switches on to him. Dickinson, quick feed outside. Collins mishandled it back inside. Dickinson finds Diabate now. Quick hop step. Floater is no good. Ball out of bounds. Ball to Iowa. Another close call there.
It's a good move by Diabate. Unlucky that shot didn't drop. Went quick, little hop step, pump fake. Got the shot he wanted, just didn't fall.
Bohannon brings it up for Iowa, guarded by Collins. High ball screen from Keegan Murray, guarded by Diabate. Diabate remains on Murray. Murray tries to go on Diabate, gets the layup to go. Beautiful move there from Keegan Murray. Diabate was right there with him, but Murray at 6'8", with a lot of athleticism and a lot of skill. It's just so hard to stop him on the inside. Collins, guarded outside by Chris Murray. Bufkin thought about the three, instead pulls it back. Screen from Diabate. Bufkin rises baseline mid-range, is no good. In and out. Dickinson, offensive rebound. Missed the layup, but got fouled.
Yeah, he'll be kicking himself on that one, though. He had a pretty easy layup there that he just didn't convert, despite the foul.
Fourth foul for Iowa. 5.5 to go here in the first half. Caleb Houston at the scorer's table for Michigan. Dickinson to shoot 2. First free throw is good. Houston checks in for Bufkin. It's Collins, Houston, Dickinson, Brooks, and Diabate in. 3 freshmen, Hunter, and the Professor, Eli Brooks. Hunter, second free throw off the rim, no good. 32-21, lead remains for Iowa. Bohannon works right wing against Brooks. Gets inside, brings it back outside. Finds Chris Murray on the outside, makes a move on Dickinson, but Dickinson stays with him. Murray finds Bohannon, left corner, guarded by Brooks. Back outside, Murray for 3. Chris Murray missed it off the rim. Long rebound goes to Eli Brooks. Approaching 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Brooks trying to find Dickinson in the post. Dickinson throws it up, missed it. Crowd went on a foul. They're not going to get one. McCaffrey now pushes for the Hawkeyes. McCaffrey going left to right. Wide open 3 for Bohannon, and he sticks it. Jordan Bohannon makes Michigan pay on the lackluster transition defense. 35-21 ball game.
Yeah, Dickinson got tackled inside, and there wasn't a foul call there. But still got to get back on defense and find your man. Can't leave Bohannon open like that on the wing 3.
Houston finds Dickinson inside, guarded by Chris Murray. Double team comes. The Murray twins love to double team Dickinson. Nice pass to the opposite side of the court by Houston. Houston tried to bounce it inside. Diabate ball out of bounds. Hunter Dickinson with a beautiful find outside of Houston. Houston then threw it away off the foot of a Hawkeye.
And Iowa's turned up the energy as well these last couple minutes. They know that this crowd is ready to get in it. Michigan's ready to push the pace. But they've done an excellent job of responding here.
Bohannon, guarded by Frankie Collins, giving them some nice pressure. The freshman giving the senior pressure. Diabate now guarding Chris Murray outside. Bohannon, quick 3 finds inside instead. Murray's good. Jordan Bohannon rise, but then before he shot it, he whipped it inside to Chris Murray, who capitalized.
Houston was a little late on the rotation there. Was expecting the shot from Bohannon, went to box out.
Dickinson gets it, high key. Brooks on the handoff from Houston coming left to right. Brooks now goes the other way. Collins right wing. Jab step on Bohannon. Behind the back. Collins now driving baseline. Left-handed layup is no good. Got to his spot but missed it. Here come the Hawkeyes. Bohannon left wing guarded by Brooks. Quick trigger 3 for Bohannon. No good. Long there. Rebound go to Iowa. Shot up for number 11, Tony Perkins. Missed it, but he got fouled. Rough start here for Michigan. They're down 16. 3.5 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, and you wonder about Michigan's ability to come back in this game without making a lot of threes here tonight. Obviously, Iowa's doing an excellent job at making shots from the perimeter. And if Michigan can't answer, they're going to fall behind pretty quickly in this game.
Murray slowed down. By no means has he been playing worse. He just hasn't been taking as many shots recently. But Jordan Bohannon has kind of picked up that slack in terms of shot attempts. Lead remains 16 for Iowa. There's a sign of life with about 7 to go in the first half. Couple good Michigan possessions. But that was followed by turnovers, bad transition defense, and Iowa got back the lead that they had early.
Yeah, really stems from a lack of energy by Michigan, which is honestly quite surprising coming off such a big win at home against Michigan State. You'd expect them to come out with the same fire, the same passion, but they've come out flat. And they've had a moment here or there where they've been able to chip into this Iowa lead, but Iowa's come out firing, especially from downtown, and Michigan hasn't been able to respond very well.
Joe's delivery of the game now. This is a newly added feature of TV timeouts. With Joe's Pizza recently opening a location in Ann Arbor, it's beloved here by the townies and by the students. Lots of pizza coming up here. There's a guy coming up right next to us. Not going to find us, though.
Highly doubtful. More looking for the kiddos, I think.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Keeps the fans engaged despite their team being down 16 here early.
Yeah.
3:30 to go in the first half.
Pizza usually cheers things up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tough to eat pizza while you're playing a basketball game, though. I don't know if it'll help the boys in blue, but
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure Brandon Johns probably wouldn't want a piece of pizza right now. Maybe we'll fire him up. Who knows? On the senior night here in Crisler Arena. Michigan currently 16-12.
yeah. I mean, we talked about seeding earlier for the NCAA tournament. There's also massive implications for seeding for the Big Ten tournament. Michigan winning out, getting to 18-12, would likely find themselves playing one of the bottom tier teams in the first round of the Big Ten tournament, which would, likely lead to another win and another tournament. Not necessarily a big tournament booster, but just another win on their resume, right? Another win always helps. But of course, they've got a lot of work to do to get back into this one. And I think honestly, it's got to start on the defensive end. They have to start creating turnovers, make it difficult for Iowa. I mean, very few shots that Iowa have made have been difficult. It's been a lot of easy looks for the Hawkeyes tonight, and they're taking advantage.
Going to be Tony Perkins at the line to resume play here. First free throw is good. Perkins, an excellent free throw shooter. 88% on the year. As Michigan looks to go into halftime strong here, Perkins' second free throw is perfect. 39-21 Hawkeyes.
Yeah, I think if you're Michigan, you got to try and cut this to 10 or 12 going into the half to give you a little confidence.
Jones up top, guarded by Bohannon. Dickinson thought about the screen, but instead goes away. Jones now still working with the ball. 15 on the shot clock. Finds Dickinson, who hands to the professor. Quick three from Eli Brooks is good. Eli Brooks with a much-needed three here. Cuts the lead to 15. Still a hefty lead, but the Wolverines will take that. Bohannon outside. Finds Keegan Murray. Back to Bohannon. Guarded by Eli Brooks. Perkins now up top, guarded by Jones. Perkins at the Michigan logo, so pretty far out. Iowa calling the sets here. Some off-ball movement. Keegan Murray, Chris Murray, on the inside. Hands off to Bohannon. Cut off there by Eli Brooks. Nice defense. Back outside. Perkins, wild three is good. Tony Perkins with a step-back three. It looked like the ball slipped in his hands. He hit it nevertheless, and that's crushing for Michigan. 42-24 Iowa.
See if Michigan can run back-to-back good offensive sets. Last one was perfectly executed. Good screens, hard cutting. Ended with a 3-ball from Eli Brooks.
Dickinson, Brooks in the corner for 3. Is good. Eli Brooks coming alive here late in the first half, trying to keep Michigan afloat. In his last game as a Wolverine, wild pass there from Perkins, out of bounds, Michigan ball. So Michigan with a bit of momentum here late in the first half after a disastrous start. Houston will take it out sideline. See if Michigan can keep building that momentum.
Brooks single-handedly holding this team in it right now. Back-to-back threes. Let's see if they can get him another one.
Good defensive play as well to give Michigan the ball back. Jones now gives to Brooks. Back to Jones up top, guarded by Bohannon. Senior on senior action here for the point guards. Brooks now left wing, screen from Dickinson. Brooks feeling it, but he's not going to shoot it. Probably too early for a heat check. Finds Dickinson in the post. Late on the shot clock, but threw it up and got it. They're going to review it looks like.
Yeah, that was very close to the shot clock. Don't think Dickinson saw it until, literally last second.
Didn't know. Looked like the Maze Rage might have helped him out there. Kind of just threw it up in perfect swish from mid-range.
It's tough to see if he got it off from the first look on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, not a good view of the shot clock there.
But at the moment, Headband Hunter only has 3 points.
Yeah.
So it might be time for that thing to come off at halftime.
Headband is on for Hunter. Not really sure what. Maybe he sweats a lot, but his hair's not too long. So I can't imagine it gets in the way of him much. Obviously dropped a 38-piece career high.
Yeah,
33 or 33? 33, yeah, 33. Yeah. That's the Spartans.
Going for a different look, maybe. Maybe just feeling himself a little bit.
Senior night, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're dropping 33. And why not?
Take one of those digits away, and that's what he has here tonight.
Yeah.
3.6 rebounds for the big guy. No fouls, though, which is always nice. If Michigan is to make a comeback here, Hunter's got to be a big part of it. Diabate, nothing to show for. Neither does Frankie Collins, who just checked in.
Seems like the basket counts. Maze Rage with cheering. It's up on the scoreboard now.
Basket counts, makes it a 13-point game.
5 now for Dickinson.
42-29 Iowa leads. 1:41 to go here in the first half. Bohannon to forecourt, guarded by Eli Brooks. High screen from Chris Murray. Bounce pass inside Perkins. Now works inside. Nice move by Perkins. Almost had it blocked by Diabate. Got the layup to go in time. Tony Perkins. Nice first half here for him.
Michigan's been a little late on the rotations here in this first half. Trying to mix up these defenses with this 2-3 zone that then turns into man-to-man matchup.
Dickinson left to right, hands to Brooks outside. Got Murray to jump. Now inside Dickinson. Almost dunked it, but a foul is called. Beautiful move by Eli Brooks to get Murray going. Then got the inside defender up with a shot fake. Bounced it inside. Dickinson went up for the jam, missed it. But free throws are coming for the big guy.
Brooks certainly leading the charge here on offense tonight. Excellent showing so far from the fifth-year senior.
Dickinson's first free throw was up and good. Michigan hits the 30 mark here with 1:09 to go in the first half. Second free throw for Hunter is no good off the rim, so a couple splits for Hunter at the line. Those are shots you're going to want to need. Michigan employing a press here late in the first half. Murray finds his twin brother, and they get it in the front court in time. Bohannon left deep from 3 is good. Jordan Bohannon showing off the range here in the first half. Iowa red hot shooting the ball.
Bohannon can stroke it, can he?
Yeah. The sixth year senior, excuse me. Houston left side, worked on by McCaffrey. Back to Houston, tries to find Dickinson. Pass picked off there by Murray. It was Chris Murray. Half a minute to go here in the first half. 17-point game. Murray to Bohannon deep outside, guarded by Brooks. Bohannon calling the shots here. I'm going to try to take as much time off the shot clock as they can. Call a timeout. Fran McCaffrey. Uh-oh. Looks like McCaffrey might have come on the court early. Michigan crowd screaming at something. Perhaps Bohannon was walking to the bench before the timeout was called.
Yeah, that was weird.
Not too sure what the crowd was complaining about. We do kind of have a bird's eye view up here, but we can see things pretty clearly. Had to be one of those two things, right?
Had to be. I'm not sure what else. Not really sure what there was to be upset about there. It seemed like Bohannon just called the timeout at midcourt, and then I think McCaffrey had some words for one of the officials potentially.
Okay.
And he was quite far out on the court, and I guess the crowd isn't too happy with that. But they haven't really been too happy with this half of basketball from the Michigan Wolverines.
Michigan disappointing first half after it was a really impressive win against their rival Michigan State, and a very key one. Perkins inside, floating mid-range is no good. Good contest there by Jones, and Michigan's running with 6 to go in the first half. Brooks outside, thought about the three, instead steps back for three. Air ball, rebound goes to Iowa. And we're going to end the first half here in Crisler with a 47-30 ball game. Michigan comes out slacking. Iowa red hot shooting the ball. Not just Keegan Murray, Jordan Bohannon as well. Tony Perkins got some buckets. And Iowa almost at the 50 mark here at halftime. Michigan's got a lot of work to do in the halftime locker room.
Yes, they certainly do. They have to come out with a much greater sense of urgency in the second half. A lot of kind of lazy switches on defense, not quite getting to their spots in their rotations, and then offensively the ball just wasn't popping for most of that first half. And Iowa took advantage of Michigan's sort of lackluster performance, making a lot of three-pointers, and making Michigan pay, and that's what you have to do on the road. And Iowa's a good team, and they've come out and shown it tonight. Michigan's got to respond. They know that season is not necessarily on the line here tonight, but there's plenty to gain, both in terms of the Big Ten tournament and making the NCAA tournament. And that's honestly, they're probably pretty disappointed with that first half showing, given the stakes of this game.
I mean, you're right. This game, a win would mean so much. I mean, for seeding in the Big Ten, like you said. I mean, obviously Michigan State really helps that NCAA tournament resume, but for a game that could clinch a spot in the tournament, it doesn't look like Michigan realizes that. And they're playing super lackluster, not getting back on defense, not a lot of stepping out on the perimeter for shooters. Bohannon and Murray each have had some wide open threes that they've capitalized. You know, it's one team if it's one, you know, one side of a team is shooting lights out and you're trying to contest them, but, you know, if a team's shooting lights out and they keep getting wide open and good looks, I mean, something's got to be said about the effort here.
Exactly. And it does not help that Moussa Diabate has gone scoreless, an 0 for 5 in the first half, after dropping his career high in points the other night in Iowa City.
Right.
I mean, Brooks has, you know, tried to keep them in it, but they're going to need more from everybody in the second half, because, you know, Iowa's just going to keep doing what they're doing on the offensive end, and Michigan can make it more difficult. Iowa's hit a couple tough shots here down the stretch, but I worry about Michigan's ability to come back in games like this, especially when they're lacking the three-point shooting. As Brooks has made all 3 of the threes for Michigan today.
You know, early in the season, consistency was a big question for Michigan. You know, whether they could be consistent. You know, they won some great games, but they lost some other games. But then about the halfway mark, they started to get things together and became a little less streaky, winning the games they were supposed to, in addition to some great games, like home against Purdue, away at Indiana. And they were losing games that, you know, were fair. They lost home against Illinois, at Wisconsin, obviously. But this kind of game here, especially considering, like you mentioned, Daniel, Moussa Diabate, career high against Iowa. Hunter Dickinson, 2 days ago, career high himself.
Yeah.
And they have a combined 6 points.
Right.
I mean, that's the definition of inconsistency. And something, if you're a Michigan fan, I think you should be nervous about. I'm not saying it's going to happen, you know, this is going to be a trend for the rest of the year. It's only one half of basketball, but still. I mean, not what you like to see, especially after such a great win against MSU.
Right. Well, yeah, it's tough to follow it up after such a great performance on Tuesday against a Michigan State team that had just come off a win against Purdue. I mean, Iowa's a great team. They've been playing some good basketball ever since that loss to Michigan. Haven't lost. But I think this is a combination of Iowa playing well and Michigan being rather lackluster in their first half performance.
Currently in halftime, 47-30 Iowa as Michigan looks to get back on track. Both teams, great teams, looking good so far. This one would mean a lot for each team. Looks like Iowa is in great shape to get it so far. About 10 minutes to go until the second half starts. I'm going to turn the play-by-play over to William Gregory. Daniel's going to remain on the call as a color commentator. It's been great calling it with you, Daniel. Michigan looking to rebound after not a good first half. It's 47-30 Iowa. 10.5 to go here until the second half. So stay tuned. We'll resume it right when the second half starts. Stay tuned to WCBN Sports.
Welcome back to Senior Night at Crisler Arena. I am William Gregory, joined again by Daniel Olson. I'll be taking over play-by-play commentary for the second half after a nice call by Owen Klein. We come back in a bad situation for the Wolverines. They're down 47-30. Iowa shot the lights out in the first half, 18 of 30 from the field, 7 of 10 from 3. Their leading scorer and the Big Ten's leading scorer, Keegan Murray, goes for 15, only misses one shot from the field all first half long. Jordan Bohannon with a couple long three-pointers. He has 9 points. Tony Perkins, 7 points off the bench, or as a starter, normally averages about 6. Had that in the first half alone. Patrick McCaffrey was questionable due to an injury. He started the first half, only 4 points though. And then Keegan Murray's twin brother Chris started, had 8 points. Excuse me, Robratza started. Chris Murray came off the bench. But, Daniel, what did you think about that first half? It was kind of a flip of Tuesday's game against Michigan State, where Michigan played really well offensively and limited the Spartans.
Yeah, it certainly was. Way too easy for Iowa to get whatever they wanted on the offensive end. Murray and Bohannon were running the show. A lot of pick and roll action from Iowa on offense that Michigan made too easy defensively. There wasn't not enough ball pressure, not switching or hedging the screens hard enough. I like the move of switching to a zone in the second half of that first half. Made it a little bit more difficult for Iowa, but Michigan didn't quite have those same hustle plays, the same intensity, and the same energy that they brought just 2 nights ago here in the same building against Michigan State.
Absolutely. We're about to start the second half here in Ann Arbor on senior night. Hunter Dickinson, Devontae Jones, Musa Diabate, Caleb Houston, and Eli Brooks out there for the Wolverines. Philip Robratza, Jordan Bohannon, Tony Perkins, and Keegan Murray, along with Patrick McCaffrey for the Iowa Hawkeyes, and Fran McCaffrey, the head coach. Patrick McCaffrey set to inbound from the side for the Hawkeyes. Referee waiting to give him the ball. Bohannon receives the inbounds pass and is picked up at the logo by Eli Brooks. Swing pass over to McCaffrey. Now Tony Perkins driving inside. Pass to Robratza. Layup no good. Nice defense by Hunter Dickinson.
Went straight up there, Dickinson. Well done on the defensive end.
Devontae Jones brings it up for the Wolverines. Now Caleb Houston from left wing stops at the free throw line. Passes back to Jones. Now Houston receives. Dickinson in the left corner. Long pass. Eli Brooks right wing. Drives inside. Hook shot. Just falls in. Nice shot there by Eli Brooks.
Much better possession there on offense for Michigan. A lot better spacing.
Iowa running in transition. Trying to get a pass inside. Foul called on Musa Diabate. That will be his first personal foul. Still 47-32. 19:23 remaining in the second half. Tony Perkins receives the inbound for the Hawkeyes. Face-up jumper goes in from just outside the restricted area. Quick shot there for Perkins. Devontae Jones has it. Now cycles to Eli Brooks. Just on the one stalk of the M logo at center court. Musa Diabate now. Hunter Dickinson, top of the three-point line. Dickinson left wing. Caleb Houston driving on Perkins. Two-step layup. Doesn't go, but it's knocked out of bounds and stays with the Wolverines.
Loved the aggression there by Caleb Houston. Quick little jab step to the right, couple dribbles. Used his frame to create a little bit of separation. Just didn't quite get the finish to go.
Inbound goes into Hunter Dickinson. Pass off to Devontae Jones. Houston again on the left wing. Dickinson defended well by Robratza. Now gets it inside. Dickinson, one dribble. Hook shot, good. 34-49. Wolverines cut into the lead. Iowa running now. Jordan Bohannon with Brooks on him once again. Screen set by Robratza. Bohannon gets around it. Trying to slither inside. Now tries a pass to Keegan Murray, but it's intercepted by Caleb Houston. Long pass up court. Jones. Diabate for the slam. Off a nice pass from Devontae Jones in transition.
And Michigan finally getting in transition there, breathing a little bit of life back into this crowd.
49-36, 13-point deficit for Michigan. Tony Perkins has it for the Hawkeyes. Jones on him. Top of the three-point line, tried to get McCaffrey on a screen, was not open. Now has Bohannon off one, picked up by Dickinson on the left wing. Nice moves by Bohannon to try and shake him, and he hits a fall-away three. It's been happening all day for Iowa. Another lucky shot goes down. Pass in transition off the inbound by Jones, picked off by Iowa. Jordan Bohannon, heat check three-pointer, and it's good. Jordan Bohannon, 2 3-pointers. Off balance, hits them both.
That's pretty demoralizing for a Michigan team that started the second half strong, but follows it up with back-to-back turnovers.
And another bad turnover by Eli Brooks leads to Perkins running in transition out to Patrick McCaffrey. Three-pointer blocked by Hunter Dickinson. Couldn't keep possession of it. It goes out of bounds, stays with the Hawkeyes.
Have to find Jordan Bohannon in transition. He's been shooting it really well all day today. Now 5 of 6 from downtown.
Inbound to Perkins on the left block, working on Jones inside. Works it, but it's blocked again by Dickinson, his second block of the possession. Diabate gets the rebound, running up court. Brooks on the right wing now, working on Jordan Bohannon. Had an open three, passed it off to Dickinson. Now inside Diabate, almost fouled there, no call. So Patrick McCaffrey has it in transition. Hounded by Caleb Houston, gets it away to Bohannon. Screen set Rabrazza. Bohannon gets around it once again, works right, pass off Keegan Murray on the left wing. Diabate picks him up. Keegan Murray still quiet in the second half after 15 first half points. Bohannon double team, trapped in the corner pass. Rabrazza nearly dunks it over Moussa Diabate's head, but Diabate stops him from doing that. Brooks inside Dickinson, makes the shot, and he's fouled.
Excellent transition work right there by Eli Brooks. Kept his head up, found the wide open Dickinson running the floor, rewarding the big man. But it all stemmed from an excellent block by Moussa Diabate down here on the other side. Saw Rabrazza going up for the slam, went up with them, and excellent challenge.
Hunter Dickinson at the line for the and one attempt. Free throw is good. 55-39. Michigan trimmed it to 13 points, the deficit. Then Jordan Bohannon hit 2 quick threes to extend the Iowa lead, now at 16. Three-pointer in the corner for McCaffrey. He's blocked by Dickinson once again. That's the second block on a McCaffrey three-pointer by Hunter Dickinson. Houston in the right corner pass. Dickinson, another pass to Moussa Diabate, and he dunks it home. Another dunk for the Wolverines inside off a nice feed from Dickinson.
Offense is starting to flow much better here for Michigan in the second half, and it starts with better spacing. People have their proper locations, giving proper cutting angles and lanes.
Patrick McCaffrey stumbling layup, no good. Rebound, Tony Perkins. And he flushes it home off the rebound. 41-57. Eli Brooks. Jones, now Dickinson inside. Fouled. He was fronted by Chris Murray, trying to prevent the pass inside. We hit the media timeout with Michigan still down 16 points.
Michigan's got to do a much better job on those entry passes into Dickinson and Diabate. Iowa's done an excellent job of fronting their man, three-quartering Dickinson and Diabate, and making it difficult. But Michigan's thrown some sloppy passes in there that's allowed Iowa to get their hands on it and then get in transition. And allowed Jordan Bohannon to get going from three as well.
It's been an interesting game for Hunter Dickinson. He's got 11 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and he's had 3 blocks in very quick succession. Now has 4 for the game. On Tuesday against Michigan State, he had a number of blocks as well. So he continues to show different facets of his game, still trying to get that three-point shot to go. Couldn't hit one on Tuesday against Michigan State, has not hit the one shot from 3 he took today. But we've heard a scout in the house for the New York Knicks is here tonight, possibly looking at Hunter Dickinson as a late first-round pick or an early second-round pick. He's shown that he can add different dimensions to his game besides being a back-to-the-basket scorer.
Yeah, he certainly added quite a bit to his game here in his second season in Ann Arbor. He's added a little bit of a right hook, the jump shot, of course, and he's shown that he's a much better passer out of being doubled in the post. And, you know, as a scout, you know, one of the things you want to look for is player development. And, you know, are they adding things to their game? And Dickinson has proven that in his second year that he's capable of adding more offensive tools to his game. I think they'd probably, you know, like a little bit more lateral quickness defensively. But he's certainly an NBA prospect, and it would not be surprising to see him declare for the draft this upcoming June.
The New York Knicks is an interesting landing spot for Dickinson. Obviously, a big market. He's from the East Coast. Dickinson's from Maryland, not New York, but close enough. And a factor that would play into his being drafted there is the impending free agency of the Knicks center Mitchell Robinson, who's been rumored to be getting interest from the Detroit Pistons. But Dickinson would fit in well there. The Knicks have already taken a Michigan player before, Iggy Brazdeikis. I don't know if he's still on the team right now, but be an interesting landing spot to go to a big market for Dickinson. He's obviously a big personality.
Yeah, he's certainly shown that personality a lot more this year. A lot more three-point celebrations, riling up the crowd, the opposing student section. It looks like he's having a lot of fun playing this game. Obviously not this specific game with Michigan. It's been a struggle for Michigan on both ends of the floor, but, you know, trying to do the best he can to get this team back in it.
With 15-19 left, we'll be set to inbound. Devontae Jones on the baseline. Pass out Eli Brooks. Now Caleb Houston on the right wing inside Dickinson, fronted again by Chris Murray. Receives the ball, now double-teamed by Connor McCaffrey. Swings it outside, picked off. Tony Perkins out and running. Connor McCaffrey has it. Back Jordan Bohannon, picked up by Dickinson. Not a nice matchup for the Wolverines. Bohannon trying to size him up. Now McCaffrey in the corner. Back to Bohannon on the left wing. Bohannon drives right by Dickinson, gets inside, stopped by Jones. Pass out to Tony Perkins, who makes a nice move, gets inside. And Tony Perkins still putting together a nice game, up to 13 points now. Devontae Jones, three-pointer, is good. Pulls the Wolverines within 15 points now. Still sizable lead for the Hawkeyes, but manageable for the Wolverines to be able to come back with about 15 minutes left in this game.
They're going to need more three-pointers to drop if they want to make this comeback complete. And seeing Devontae Jones, one of the streakier shooters on this team, get one to go.
What a play by Chris Murray. He falls to the ground injured, but he blew by Dickinson off a screen, got inside, dunked it really hard over Moussa Diabate, but Chris Murray hung on the rim a little too long and fell directly on his tailbone. He was slow to get up, but now he is up off the floor and he stays on the court.
Yeah, Diabate on the wrong side of a poster there. That was vicious from Murray.
We've had a lot of highlight plays for Iowa so far tonight. Not what you'd like to see on a Wolverines senior night, especially with the lead being what it is. Michigan with the ball now. Eli Brooks wide open left corner, three-pointer, no good. Offensive rebound, Diabate gets it back up and in with a foul called, but it looks like they're going to wave it off as a reach before the shot.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they looked at that for a hook and hold, actually. It seemed like their
Definitely
arms were
looks
linked.
like it on the replay.
Seemed like their arms were linked in a illegal way.
They won't look at it. Terrence Williams checks in for the Wolverines. Dickinson inside out to Williams. Now Jones, right corner. No good on the three. Rebound Connor McCaffrey. Pushes it for the Hawkeyes. Pass left. Tony Perkins drives inside. Jumper, no good from the free throw line. Out in transition goes Devontae Jones. Caleb Houston now drives inside. Loses the ball. Foul is called.
I like the pace Michigan has started to play with here in the second half, moving it up and down the floor a lot faster than they did in the first half, getting much better looks offensively, but they have to match this offensive production with some stops on the defensive end. Iowa's still getting whatever they'd like on offense.
The percentages have fallen a bit for the Hawkeyes, but they're still shooting 56% from the field and 64% from three. Dickinson working inside against Chris Murray. Easy hook shot goes. That's too easy for Hunter. He's up to 13 points. Jordan Bohannon receives a screen from Keegan Murray. He's been super quiet so far in the first 7 minutes of this second half. Connor McCaffrey. Now left corner Perkins. Bohannon picked up by Brooks on the left wing. Screen set by Chris Murray. Bohannon works inside right block. Layup, no good. Rebound Dickinson to Brooks. Terrence Williams, right wing, inside Dickinson. Just by the right elbow. Dickinson with another pass. He's been doing that a lot, passing out of the post. It's picked off by Connor McCaffrey. Chris Murray has it now. McCaffrey stops inside Chris Murray on Eli Brooks. Hook shot good. And the second Murray twin has 12 points.
Excellent job by McCaffrey, staying patient and waiting for that matchup of Murray on Brooks to materialize.
Caleb Houston, three-pointer, no good. Just between the right wing and the top of the key. Rebounded, the Hawkeyes have it. Fans wanting a double dribble on Tony Perkins, but he gets it to Keegan Murray. Inside, shot no good, fouled by Hunter Dickinson.
Fans are not happy with the officiating, as you'd expect from the home crowd. Nonetheless, doesn't help being down 17 either.
Now this is a dangerous situation for the Wolverines to get Keegan Murray to the line to shoot free throws. He has not made a shot at all, not attempted a shot in this second half. He misses the first free throw. But if you get him going in the second half, you can kiss this game goodbye if you're the Wolverines.
Certainly, and sometimes all it takes for great players is one free throw to go in. Just see the ball go through the basket.
Second free throw, good for Keegan Murray. He's got 16 points now. Philip Rabratza checks in for the Hawkeyes along with Joe Toussaint. Devontae Jones inside Johns at the free throw line. Pivots, pass back Jones. Setting the play is Devontae Jones. Pass underhanded to Brooks. Drives inside. A floater good for Eli Brooks. He's been hitting that shot all day and feeling it.
Yeah, he's one of the few Wolverines to have some offensive production today. Outside of him and Dickinson, been rather short on the offensive end.
Brooks has those 17 points along with Dickinson's 13. Nobody else in double figures for the Wolverines. Tony Perkins picked up by Johns. Perkins at the free throw line back out to Connor McCaffrey. Now left wing Perkins, pass to Keegan Murray. Long three is good for Keegan Murray, and he's been hitting that shot. He's 4 for 4 from distance.
The Hawkeyes are raining down threes here in Ann Arbor. Pretty demoralizing to the crowd, but also to the Michigan men playing on the court.
Caleb Houston tries a three. That one's good. The two teams trade three-pointers, and Michigan keeps it even at 16, avoids a run by the Hawkeyes. Connor McCaffrey now, right wing, past Tony Perkins. Screen Rabratza. Perkins doesn't take it, dribbles it out. Pass Toussaint driving in. Layup no good. Rebound Brandon Johns.
See if Michigan can kickstart a little run to get back into this game here. It's been hovering around 13, 15, 16 points for the past couple minutes.
Johns did not pass it out, but he's fouled by Philip Rabratza. And it'll be a media timeout with 10:18 remaining. Michigan still down 67-51.
Michigan's done what they've needed to do on offense to get back into this game. There's just been a lack of defensive stops, along with Iowa making quite a few three-pointers. Some contested ones as well. Bohannon's Made some excellent shots from deep.
In NBA news, we have a small Woj explosion. Nick Stauskas, the former Wolverine, signing a 2-year deal with the Boston Celtics.
Wow.
Stauskas was in the G League with the Grand Rapids Gold. He had 100 points on back-to-back games. He had 57 and 43. I had no idea this happened, and he signs with the Celtics, a 2-year deal.
Yeah. As a Celtics fan, I'm pretty happy about that. It's a pretty good ad. Could use some shooting. Surprised Stauskas' career hasn't really done, it hasn't panned out the way it was originally projected to. Great shooter. Seems like an excellent offensive player.
He last played for the Miami Heat this season. He's been bouncing around Europe in the G League since 2019 when he had played for the Cavs, the Trailblazers, Nets, Sixers, and Kings. He's still 28 years old. Surprising. I feel like he's been around for a lot longer, but maybe a chance to reignite his career with Boston. I'm surprised he got a 2-year deal.
Yeah. All it takes 2 games to get noticed. You never know who's looking. You never know what moment could be the difference in your career. And good for Stauskas for taking advantage. Michigan could use him right now as they try and come back into this game. They need a 3-point explosion from somebody. Houston's certainly capable.
There's a lot of peripheral pros in the NBA that Michigan could use right now. Mo Wagner, not really getting a ton of minutes. Iggy Bradsdikis, a lot of players like that. Derek Walton Jr. got some minutes for the Pistons earlier this year. Still in this media timeout. Michigan remains down 67-51 on senior night. You'd hope on senior night to blow the other team out in order to get your bench-warming seniors on the floor. What we might see tonight is Michigan losing in a blowout, sending out guys like Jaron Folds, Adrian Nunez, Brandon Wade. Devontae Jones and Eli Brooks have played the majority of the minutes so far today, but we'd like to see those end-of-the-bench seniors get some playing time as their careers wrap up in Ann Arbor. Brandon John's also getting major minutes as a contributor on this team. We're out of the timeout. Terrence Williams set to inbound. Chris Murray guarding the side out.
Smaller lineup on the floor here for Michigan with Johns and Terrence Williams. Power forward in the center positions.
We'll see how it works. Iowa does not have a player that gets consistent minutes over 6'9". Pass by Eli Brooks to Brandon Johns Jr. dunks it home. 67-53. Joe Toussaint. Joe Toussaint running for the Hawkeyes. Inside Rabrazza on a smaller Devontae Jones. Foul called on Jones. That's his first foul.
It's a very favorable matchup for Iowa with Rabazza, with Jones on Rabazza there. Just give him the shoulder, back him down.
Iowa still retains possession. Neither team yet in the bonus, so we'll go to an inbounds pass. Chris Murray receives it to Aaron Eulis, Tyler Eulis' brother, the former NBA player. Joe Toussaint now on the left wing. Jones on him, shot clock running down. Toussaint, nice hop, step, jumper, no good. But a foul called on the rebound on Toussaint. He fouled Devontae Jones. Sorry, they'll call the foul on Rabrazza on the rebound. It looked like Toussaint knocked Devontae Jones on that rebound. Jordan Bohannon checks back in for the Hawkeyes. Toussaint goes to the bench along with Rabrazza. Coming on is Keegan Murray for Filip Rabrazza, the Serbian out of the same hometown as Nikola Jokic, Sombor, Serbia. Devontae Jones doubled, passes to Brandon Johns Jr., but it's deflected out of bounds. Michigan possession still. Devontae Jones inbounds. Eli Brooks Jones in the corner. Nice pass inside. Brandon Johns gets the spin and the roll to go home. Shot good for Brandon Johns. And the deficit goes to 12 points for the Wolverines, the closest we've seen in a while. Aaron Eulis controlling the ball for the Hawkeyes. Gets to Connor McCaffrey. Picked up Jones Jr. Pass. Murray. Now Eulis in the corner. Just gets the bottom of the rim, but rebound goes to Chris Murray. Passes out Jordan Bohannon. We did have a shot clock reset, so Iowa resets their offense. Keegan Murray now has it against Terrence Williams on the right block. Murray trying to work inside. Foul called on Terrence Williams. And Crisler Center is livid about that call.
Looked like pretty good defense from Terrence Williams the whole time. A lot of body contact. And just seemed to kind of drop the hands as Murray went up for the shot. Officials will look for that. If the hands are straight up, they won't call it. But Williams dropped him down to go for the block, and the ref gave him the foul there.
Keegan Murray first free throw good. It was a shooting foul. And I think I'm foreseeing some Michigan fans hemming and hawing about the officiating in tonight's game. A lot of calls seem to not have gone the Wolverines' way. Combine that with the excellent Hawkeye shooting. It's been a really heartbreaking night for Michigan on senior night, especially with their tournament hopes maybe dwindling if you lose this game and only have the one regular season game against Ohio State remaining.
Yeah, it's certainly been frustrating.
Eli Brooks three-pointer, no good. Rebound, Iowa.
Certainly been frustrating to see Iowa rain in threes, and you can't seem to buy one on the other end.
Keegan Murray pump fake drive on Dickinson. And an easy layup goes down for Keegan Murray. You talked about Hunter Dickinson's lack of lateral quickness, Daniel, and kind of showed up there. It's been shown when Keegan Murray is against him offensively.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup for Diabate and Dickinson.
Keegan Murray has it off the turnover from the Wolverines. Pass, Connor McCaffrey steps into a three. Long, but rebound goes to Chris Murray. Chris Murray fighting for it, but it's taken away by Caleb Houston. Caleb Houston out in transition. Inside Dickinson, slam dunk. Business decision made by Aaron Eulis to avoid the incoming freight train. Hunter Dickinson flushes it down and trims the deficit back to 14. That possession saw a little bit of urgency from the Wolverines, maybe one of their last gasps to try and really get this lead for the Hawkeyes down, but they just have not been able to break through on a real scoring run to go to maybe single digits, within 10 points. The closest we've seen in a while is 12 points. That's the closest that it's been in the second half. Iowa's shooting has cooled. Part of that also has to do with their lack of made three-pointers compared to the first half in this second half.
Yeah, Michigan's done a much better job of pushing the pace here in half number 2. Getting the ball inside of Dickinson and Diabate, who are running the floor for easy baskets. But it's on the other end that while Iowa's shooting has cooled quite a bit, they're still making some tough shots. That's stopping Michigan from going on these runs to get them back in the game, get the crowd truly back in the game. And this is a pivotal 3-minute stretch here. This will really dictate whether or not Michigan has a chance to get back into it. As if they play it kind of even till the next media TV timeout, it's going to be very, very difficult for Michigan to come back and win this thing. So the run to get back in this has to start now.
They are playing the Blues Brothers song. Hopefully the crowd gets pumped up. I usually get pumped up when I hear it. It's probably my favorite song, favorite dance to do.
It's a pretty solid one.
Definitely got the best rhythm to it, I think. And I love when the trombones come over to different sections and play. That's always fun.
Yeah, we don't even have the student band tonight. Got some.
It's been a thin crowd so far tonight, and not helped by the Michigan deficit. We've seen some fans file out of Crisler Arena. But it has been a quick game, I'd say.
Yeah.
Not too many breaks. It's only 10:40. Game tipped off shortly after 9 o'clock. We haven't seen a lot of big stops in time. Not many fouls. To my knowledge, I don't think either team has entered the bonus in either half so far. Iowa does have the 16 fouls. So
Yeah.
Michigan very close.
Yeah, it's certainly been flowing pretty well. But, not necessarily a great thing for Michigan at the moment as, the clock keeps ticking down and Iowa keeps making some tough shots to kind of keep Michigan at bay.
Iowa is a quick team. They do like to get their shots up, and it's obvious why. They make them at a pretty good clip. They are within the top in the nation in field goal attempts and field goals made, as well as top 5 in points per game, a little bit over 83 points per game. Iowa has it out of the timeout, running the offense in a quiet Crisler Arena. Jordan Bohannon out to Chris Murray. Thought about the three-pointer, but he's tied up by Eli Brooks, and that'll be a jump ball, possession arrow to the Wolverines. They'll have the basketball as we enter another timeout. Kind of a kiss of death that we talked about how quickly this game's going, and we had 2 straight timeouts in about 10 seconds.
We kind of jinxed it there, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's 15 seconds of play and then immediate timeout.
Unfortunate, but the seniors on the floor still get a little bit more time to enjoy themselves.
True, Michigan got a good stop there. Excellent hands by Eli Brooks getting in there. Kind of getting a hold of the ball from Chris Murray. And a chance for the Wolverines to get it back to 12 or potentially even 11, which is would be the closest we've seen it in quite some time.
Definitely. You need a really good play out of this timeout to not only score a basket, but spark this crowd that's been really quiet in this second half. There hasn't been a lot to cheer about. Even the Thunder dunks that we've seen a lot of them on both sides. They haven't really gotten anyone energized as much as a couple shots we saw in the first half. Eli Brooks has hit some nice floaters and some three-pointers that have gotten the crowd going, but we haven't had a dynamite moment to get a thin crowd into this game the way the Wolverines need it to put the pressure on the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, they're certainly ready to cheer, I think. They just need something to kind of spur them on.
Still in the media timeout. Second timeout in, 20 seconds of game time. The advertisers for the TV networks are certainly happy with the outcome of that series of plays. Finish the lyric contest on the court. The kid. And he gets it right. This is second time in 2 games that I've called the finish the lyric contest in the second half.
High quality media timeout.
It's these media timeouts that just kill us. I mean, we can't go to commercial ourselves, so we got to think of something to talk about. Who do you think the first bench warmer to get in the game is, Daniel?
For Michigan?
Yeah. If it's still a blowout by the end of it.
If it's a blowout by the seniors? Got to be Falds, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah, he gets the most minutes, and then probably Nunez.
Nunez and Falls probably at the same time. I don't think Brandon Wade is dressed in uniform.
Oh, okay.
So I don't believe he will get in the game. But those are the only two, Falds and Nunez. So
this is my first year at Michigan, and I wasn't a Michigan fan coming here. Is there a tradition for seniors on senior night on the court? I know Michigan State, they kiss the Spartan logo at center court on senior night.
I don't believe so. I think it's, just you get a standing O from the crowd. A little love from the crowd is always nice, but might be a little bit more subdued if the lead is what it is for Iowa.
Out of the media timeout, the Wolverines have the ball. Caleb Houston, right corner. Thinks about the three, drives inside. Nice layup through traffic. And Michigan cuts it to 12. 7 minutes left. Jordan Bohannon taking it up against looks like a hybrid zone defense for the Wolverines. Switching those two guards up on top. Aaron Eulis has it. Off to Keegan Murray. Nearly traveled with it. They will blow the whistle and call the travel. He jumped up with the ball without dribbling it.
Back-to-back stop for the Wolverines. Let's see if they can, put a little run together here.
Inside of 7 minutes, it's a crucial time to begin that run. Caleb Houston left wing, Devontae Jones left corner. Pump fakes on Keegan Murray. Screen set Diabate, back out Dickinson top side. Now Houston in the corner, pass back Brooks right wing. Bounce pass by Brooks inside to Dickinson. Pass gets away but retained by Musa Diabate. Pass by Jones inside Diabate, but he gets it stripped by Aaron Eulis. Eulis running in transition for the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, excellent hands by Iowa on defense there. Multiple strips slowing that Michigan possession.
Iowa slows it down. They do an incredible job taking care of the ball. One of the best at preventing turnovers on offense in the country. Aaron Eulis fires up a shot, no good. Rebound Wolverines. Caleb Houston has it. Inside 6 minutes now. Houston waiting for a play to be set. Diabate is waiting for a ball in the post. But instead he sets a screen for Devontae Jones. Jones with Chris Murray on him. Now mismatch. Connor McCaffrey guarding Musa Diabate. Puts up a nice fight, but back out Devontae Jones. Wide open three-pointer is good. And Michigan gets the lead within single digits. This game is still within reach for the Wolverines. We saw a mismatch. Diabate posting up Connor McCaffrey. Chris Murray had to come help. Left his man Devontae Jones wide open for three, and he knocked it down. Jordan Bohannon now. Aaron Eulis. Handoff McCaffrey. Connor McCaffrey to Keegan Murray in the corner. Working on Caleb Houston inside. Blocked by the Wolverines. They run in transition, and the crowd is back into it like we talked about. And a foul called by the referee on Chris Murray. Inside, guarding Musa Diabate, and Michigan enters the bonus. It'll be Diabate for a 1-and-1 as Iowa collects their 7th team foul of the half.
Critical free throws here for Musa Diabate. You have the 1-and-1. Have to get the front ends to get the second one. So, and with the clock stopped, getting these points are critical here.
And they're reviewing the previous play. Keegan Murray was signaling for a hook and hold review after that foul, it seemed like to me. We do have a timeout on the floor, 71-62, just inside 5 minutes in Ann Arbor. Awaiting the officials' review on what type of foul truly occurred on that last play.
Yeah. Given the 1-and-1 for Diabate there. That was a quick review there.
So we'll stay with the 1-and-1. Diabate walks to the line. He had a career game the last time these two teams met on February 17th. Diabate went for 28 points. Tonight, only 4. We saw him earlier in the game trying to force some shots up, maybe trying to get that mojo going again. Clearly has not been it's not been there for him tonight. But maybe these free throws wake him up offensively. First free throw, no good, rims out left. Rebound, Keegan Murray. Jordan Bohannon picked up by Jones. Wolverines still in that semi-zone defense. Connor McCaffrey gets inside, passes to Chris Murray. Layup good by Murray. Almost called him Christian McCaffrey there. Hunter Dickinson, top of the three-point line. Mismatch with Tony Perkins. He's not deep enough in the paint to make a difference, but now gets Jordan Bohannon switched on him. Face-up jumper, rolls in for Hunter Dickinson.
Excellent job squaring up, looking at the matchup he had on hand, turning around and making the jump shot.
Here's Bohannon.
Michigan has to continue to execute on the offensive end like that.
Tony Perkins right wing now. He's been quiet. Still has those 13 points, though. Connor McCaffrey on the floor for the Hawkeyes. And Jordan Bohannon dribbled it off his knee. Out of bounds, Michigan basketball. Media timeout as we've just reached under 4 minutes, 3 minutes and 58 seconds remaining in the second half. Michigan down by 9. We've seen them close the gap. They've been down as much as 20 points tonight.
Yeah, they started to make that push that I talked about in that past stretch in between media timeouts, which they needed to do. They've got it down to 9. They've got the ball here. It's a big possession coming out of the timeout. Get some points and cut it to 6 or 7 here. They're putting together some stops. Iowa looks a little flustered on the offensive end.
It doesn't seem like Michigan's playing, really great defense, but Iowa seems like they've lost that swagger that they had throughout this game, hitting shots. Jordan Bohannon took a couple heat checks and made them from long range, and they were off-balance three-pointers.
Right.
Keegan Murray really hasn't gotten going. He's the Big Ten's leading scorer at around 23 points per game. He's under that mark so far tonight. He had 15 first-half points, but he has not been as impactful in the second half.
Yeah, it certainly seems like Iowa isn't quite confident or quite sure in what their offensive game plan is right now. The second half has been a lot of individual excellence on the offensive end. Murray's had his spurts. Bohannon obviously had his little run. But for the most part, Michigan's done an excellent job in the second half.
And Patrick McCaffrey hasn't gotten a lot of minutes in the second half. That's probably as a result of his injury that kept him out of Iowa's last game. But we have seen Tony Perkins step up along with Keegan Murray's twin brother, Chris. They've both gone over double digits in points scored and provided a secondary punch to the reigning three-pointers from Keegan Murray and Jordan Bohannon.
Certainly has. Perkins has done an excellent job of getting to his spot, which seems to be around the painted area. Used his frame very nicely to create separation and get enough room to get a shot off.
He's been crafty in some jump step shots inside.
Yes, certainly has.
Right, close to the restricted area, but, some floaters, some short twos going up for Tony Perkins. Like I said, he averages about 6 points a game. He has 13 so far tonight. He has been an X factor for the Hawkeyes that has given them the lead that they've kept for for all of this game. Frankly, it's just that Michigan's finally cut it close.
Yep.
For the Wolverines, Daniel, who do you want getting the ball down the stretch for Michigan? Do you want it to be Eli Brooks or Hunter Dickinson, or try and get Caleb Houston going as he's been shooting hot in this back half of the season?
I think you have to go through Dickinson because I think the double teams will come. The double teams will come for Dickinson, and he should be able to make the right pass out of those double team, make the right reads. It'll get guys open in a sense. As you know, I'm not sure how confident Michigan is in half-court sets when they don't get the ball into Dickinson.
We're back out of the media timeout. Devontae Jones brought it up for the Wolverines. Dickinson at the top of the three-point line into Diabate, who misses the short layup.
Yeah.
He was short on the shot.
He'd like that one back, certainly.
Rebound goes to the Hawkeyes. Bohannon, Chris Murray, pass tipped by Devontae Jones. And Caleb Houston trying to go for the ball, bumps into Chris Murray. And a foul is called on the freshman from Canada. Talked about Nick Stauskas earlier. He's from Mississauga. So is Caleb Houston, the freshman. Connor McCaffrey inbounds pass to Keegan Murray. Bumps off Diabate. Picks up his dribble. Pass off Tony Perkins. Now Connor McCaffrey, the senior, controlling the ball above the three-point line. Bohannon works with it on Dickinson, trying to blow by him. Dickinson stays with him.
Yep.
But Jordan Bohannon drives inside, and Eli Brooks draws a charge on a haphazard dribble kept there by Bohannon. Moussa Diabate and Tony Perkins arguing with the official. but play will resume with 3:18 left.
Excellent defense by Brooks.
Devontae Jones receives the inbounds from Diabate. Dickinson, they've liked running their offense with Dickinson above the three-point line. Gets it to Houston. Houston step back. 2 or a 3 is no good, but Dickinson's there to collect the rebound and put it back up and in. Michigan only down 7 with 3 minutes left.
Gonna need a few of those to grab a few offensive boards down the stretch here if Michigan wants to complete this comeback.
Michigan bringing some exotic pressure off the inbounds, not sending everyone for a full court press. Chris Murray guarded by Diabate inside Keegan Murray. Dickinson on him on the perimeter now. From the left corner, Murray sizing up Dickinson. Dickinson stays with him. Nice defense outside to his brother. And Chris Murray nails a 3 in the face of the Wolverines.
Dagger.
Gets the lead back out to 10 for the Hawkeyes. And it might be an untenable situation for Michigan. Caleb Houston left wing. Now Jones has it. Screen set Diabate. Jones steps up. Splits the double team pass out to Caleb Houston. And he hits a 3. Brings it back to 7 points. Cancels out that Chris Murray three-pointer to still keep it close. But there's 2 minutes and 9 seconds remaining.
Yeah, definitely a much-needed 3 from Caleb Houston there. He's been shooting the ball really well the second half of the season. And that was a pretty contested shot, but a lot of confidence in that shot. And an excellent, much-needed response after the Murray 3 on the other end.
Iowa still been stuck in the 70s point range for a while. Michigan, their defense has stepped up a lot here in this second half. And they haven't been foul happy either. They still only have the 5 team fouls, so it'll be a little bit before Iowa can enter the bonus. Michigan still in that single bonus, Iowa with the 18 fouls. Chance of let's go blue echo throughout Crisler as Iowa sets to inbound from the baseline after the Caleb Houston three-pointer. Tony Perkins bringing it up, pressured by Moussa Diabate, gets it out to Jordan Bohannon, who's trapped by Jones and Diabate, but Keegan Murray's wide open. They'll call the 10-second violation on Jordan Bohannon. That pass out to Murray was not in time. And Michigan gains possession of the basketball with 1:59 remaining. 76-69, Devontae Jones. Screen Houston, another screen by Dickinson. Jones working to the right side. Pass to Dickinson, gets away. Iowa comes up with a takeaway.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he saw there. Dickinson seemed to be pretty well covered up in the middle. Tried to jam it in there. And a costly turnover for the Wolverines.
Chris Murray now to Tony Perkins. The Wolverines trying to keep their NCAA tournament hopes somewhat alive as an at-large bid. Jordan Bohannon, three-pointer from the corner, rims out, rebound Eli Brooks. Big miss there for Bohannon. He's been hitting that shot all day. Another pass by Jones inside is taken away by the Hawkeyes. And another questionable pass inside by Jones leads to another turnover.
Again, tried to jam it into Diabate. That didn't work that time. He had Houston in the corner, slightly covered, but the much easier pass as fans start to file out of Crisler Center here. The minute to go, down 7. Would take something miraculous for Michigan to get back in this thing.
With a foul to give, Hunter Dickinson fouls the Hawkeyes. They'll reset out of bounds. Diabate traps Murray with Dickinson, but he gets it away to Connor McCaffrey. Another trap comes. Wolverines back off. Iowa just able to dribble out this clock. 5 on the shot clock. They'll have to get something up. Chris Murray left wide open. His layup gets goaltended by Moussa Diabate, and that score is good. 78-69 lead for the Hawkeyes. And this game looks to be close to over, as Crisler is getting emptier by the second with fans streaming out. Moussa Diabate out. Brooks. Now Devontae Jones. Screen set Diabate. Jones pull up. Jumper no good. Rebound Diabate. He's swatted trying to put up a shot off the offensive rebound.
Yeah.
Fouls Jordan Bohannon in frustration, and that should do it with Michigan down by 9. Jordan Bohannon, an excellent free throw shooter, just about 88% heads to the free throw line to shoot a 1-and-1 to try and extend the Hawkeye lead to double digits.
Story of the game for Diabate specifically down low. Just couldn't put the ball in the basket enough times when he got it in good positions in the paint.
Bohannon makes the first to earn the second free throw, and it looked like Iowa learned their lesson with Diabate from last game.
Certainly so.
The explosion from Diabate limited here tonight to only those 4 points, and he's gotten blocked at the rim a number of times. His strength has not really been put to good use so far tonight. Second free throw goes down for Bohannon, 80-69 inside 30 seconds. Another near turnover for Devontae Jones. Gets away from Dickinson, pass to Houston. Shot altered by the Hawkeyes. Rebound to Jordan Bohannon with 15 seconds left. Devontae Jones fouls him. And Jace Howard will come into the game. We don't see a senior. A little bit strange.
Yeah.
Jace Howard comes in for Eli Brooks to get a standing ovation for Brooks. With the limited fans remaining here, Brooks gets some nice round of applause for all he's done for the Wolverine program over his time here in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, excellent effort tonight as well.
He did everything he could.
Made a couple critical threes in the first half to keep Michigan within somewhat of a striking distance, but ultimately that slow first half is what cost the Wolverines.
Bohannon taking some more free throws. He made the first. Second one away and good. 82-69, 15.1 seconds remaining. Moussa Diabate inbounds Devontae Jones. Jace Howard has it now. Tries to drive inside. He'll put a pass on Dickinson. Hunter Dickinson jams it home. We won't see another foul, so the remaining seniors on Michigan's bench won't sub in, as this loss deals a serious dash to Michigan's NCAA tournament hopes, losing 82-71 to the Iowa Hawkeyes at home after a previous victory in Iowa City. Daniel, this was a surprising outcome for a Wolverine team that looked, that they were on a pretty hot shooting streak, a pretty good defensive streak. Couple games won against some quality teams, but they dropped this one.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed in this tonight, especially coming off the big win against Michigan State on Tuesday where everything was clicking. And then to come out here and lay really a dud in the first half. Again, a much better second half, some great fight down the stretch, and obviously Jones had a couple turnovers late, but it's tough to pin the blame on those considering how lackluster and lethargic that first half was from the Wolverines. And it was certainly surprising considering where they're at in this NCAA tournament bubble hunt. This would have been a big win and really propelled them into the likely into the tournament, honestly. And now they have to win a couple games down the stretch. So they've got a chance, big game Saturday or Sunday at Ohio State, and then obviously a chance in the Big Ten tournament to make a run. But it's tough to know with this team. The inconsistency has been there. They've been consistently inconsistent all year.
That's a good way to put it.
I'd imagine it's a little frustrating at times inside that locker room. Definitely.
In Iowa with the victory, all but really secures that double bye in the Big Ten tournament. They're almost for sure going to end up with that 4th seed in the tournament. Michigan will probably end up around 7 or 8, pending the victory against pending the game against Ohio State. We very much hesitate to call it a victory. WCBN will not be there. We plan to go to the game, but some plans fell through. So this is the last broadcast of regular season basketball for this season of Michigan basketball. For Daniel Olson and Owen Klein, I'm William Gregory. We'd like to thank you for joining us for a disappointing Michigan loss, 82-71 the final score here in Ann Arbor. Thank you for joining us. Good night and go blue.